and welcome to the Point of View of Change, our premiere episode. I'm Derek, this is Anilu, and this is our first guest.
My name is Akil there.
Akil, welcome, Akil. Everybody welcome Akil.
Thank you.
What's going on, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm doing well today. How you guys doing?
That's good, man. We'd like to talk to you today here at your shop, Optical. Please tell us a little bit about who you are, where you've been, and what you've been doing.
So I'm an entrepreneur from Queens. I've been in the journey of being incarcerated, formerly incarcerated, to now owning my own shop and being an entrepreneur.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. So, where did you even get the craft to do your own entrepreneur?
Yeah, let's go back. Let's start at the beginning. So you have the store. You said you was locked up, right?
Yes, formerly incarcerated.
Okay, so let's start there. How, if you don't mind us asking, how did you get to jail?
I was with the wrong crowd, with the wrong friends. I was more in the street, didn't listen to my parents. So that ended me up being with the wrong friends, like I mentioned, and it led me to being incarcerated.
Okay. How long were you incarcerated?
I did 5 years.
That's a little bit of time. So, what did you do during the time of your incarceration? Like, this was new to you? Like, was this your first offense, or were you incarcerated before?
So I wasn't previously incarcerated before. This was my first offense and first time being locked up. And you get different trades in there. So I started off being a porter, which is like a janitor and maintenance. And then I worked my way up with good conduct. So after that, you get different schools and different trades. And I was transferred to Optical Correctional Facility.
So you started in jail. See, I was locked up too. I was locked up. I did a little time as well. So you started off as a porter. I remember the porter's job. I had a porter job. Porter job's the easiest. I was a porter the whole time. So the porter job, you started with a porter job. What jail were you in? You know?
I was in Governor Correctional Facility. I was in Clinton. I was almost everywhere in the
You do a porter everywhere?
Yeah.
Oh, so it wasn't until you
reached Walker where I learned how to make glasses.
Okay, so you kept the porter job because it was easy, it paid well, was anything incentives or something, any reason why you was like, I'll be a porter, just it's what they did?
That's the basic job they give you. You can be a librarian. I also did that too for the summer when they needed a position to be filled. You could go into carpentry. The license plates in New York City are actually made in a correctional facility, so you could have different trades. You could make jackets, you could make socks. However, Walker is the only facility that allows you to make glasses, and statewide.
Oh, I see, that's what you kind of skipped there a little bit. What made you decide to say, I didn't want to be a porter, I want to do something else?
There was no opportunities. There was no opportunities in any of the correctional facility. It was just, you be a porter or a librarian or you do these things, but nothing intrigued me, nothing motivated me. So I was there doing these measly jobs.
How much you got paid for it?
It was like 27 cents an hour, nothing. But it was just, you had nothing better to do. Either you stay inside and just joke around, or you do something with your time. So there was no other jobs in those facilities.
Okay.
So when you got the Walkill, what made you make the decision to get in the optics?
One, I already had the prerequisites, which was having a high school degree and taking a little exam, which is mathematics. And on top of that, the whole time I've been doing porter jobs, like I mentioned, and that was getting boring. And it paid more, it paid 35 cents. So that's a little bit of a raise, even though it's not a lot of money to any individual outside. But to us individuals, it was a lot of money at that time.
Oh, so that helped you with your purchases, the commissary, and stuff like that?
Yeah, it helped me with my food, send money back home, help my family out. Yeah, so.
You was making enough money to send money home?
Yeah, so I was saving because I was just spending, like, I didn't smoke cigarettes, so that wasn't an extra cost of mine, going to commissary, buying cigarettes. I wasn't drinking coffee like I do now. Definitely don't, because I wouldn't be able to say that. Not a penny. So, that's why I was able to save, and luckily it saved a little bit on my family and helped me out too. So
All right. You said optics.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let y'all know. I was in the optics program with this guy also. So pretty much like we see these glasses that we wear, and all of us have glasses. We were responsible for making all the glasses for Medicaid, all the glasses for state employees, and we had contracts with like Pennsylvania charter schools and things of that nature. So we were doing a lot of labor. It was very intense. But like you said, even though it was higher than everyone else, it was still only 35 cents an hour, 45 cents an hour. So, let's talk about that a little bit. The extra little boost that made you, want to work so you can save a little bit more. But then did you ever think about like how much work you're doing for what you're getting?
At that moment, it was just to spend time wisely. So the money wasn't an issue because you're just making sense. So prior to being incarcerated, whatever I was doing in the street, I was making a little bit of money, which didn't enumerate to the sense that I was making. So my mindset wasn't on the money, but to gain a trade. There was an individual locked up. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was locked up before, and he did 17 years. So when he came out, he went to trade school and he got his license. Now he works back at Optical for facility. So, there's individuals that take it the step next, and
So tell us the process of you being here, right? So you were incarcerated, you learned this craft, this trade. What were your plans? Like, did you plan to come do this? Did you plan to be in the field still when you came home, or was it just something, a means to ends? Because you did just say that, it was for time spent, and a little bit of money.
So,
hold on real quick, I'm gonna ask that too. More so, when did you get that plan? Because you're saying, I got what you were saying is that you took optics because it was something that would help you in the future. So when did you see that? Did you see that in optics or before you took optics?
Nah, it wasn't even in the plan, bro. It was
never in the plan.
Nah, it was just during my time, came into Walker, was like, oh, they got a trade that I could use. So business-wise, it was like, wait, a lot of people need glasses. I know how to make it, so let me start learning everything that I need to. So the plan was actually formulated while I was incarcerated. And even before I got to Walker, I was thinking of seeing what can be done. Because I was in the electrical program too.
Yeah,
so I wanted to take that further, but it wasn't what I wanted it to be. Until I got to Walker, which, glasses. Everybody needs glasses.
So once you saw like, all right, this might be a means to do something, what was your plans? Like when you came home, like how are you going to attack it? How are you going to get to this point here?
So first we needed the certificate, which was an ABO. We all studied for it. I know you have one, I have one.
What's ABO?
American Board of Optometry. Okay. So that's what it
stands for.
Certification. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you have to take a test, and it's vigorous. You have to study for 6 months. It's not basic edition, but it talks about the eye and different issues with the eye and disorders and how to correct it with the lenses. Yeah. Hence, that's why we wear glasses. So learned that. Now I needed to learn how I could use my skills that I learned in there in the real world, because there's not a lot of opportunities for individuals that have felonies. So I came out with my certificate and the craft that I knew. A lot of individuals didn't want to hire me because when they do a background check, you have a felony.
Yeah,
so and
even though they get paid, all of the stuff that they get, the benefits they get to hire them,
well, they
still giving hard time.
They think you're gonna come in there and steal or something.
Yeah, they think that your crime is something you did and not that you could change, but there's people that could change, and we showed them that we could change. Wasn't hired from many places, but one place gave me opportunity, and it worked out.
Hold on, so when you came home with the plan of working in the field, or this came later on?
I wanted to own my business because I didn't want to work for anybody.
Okay.
I did that before.
But you knew you had to start working for people.
Somewhere. Yeah. You have to learn, because being inside is different than actually putting your skills to the test on the outside. Okay. Because it's different. You don't know how.
Is it? Because like when you're making glasses, they're doing the same thing. When you bench align the glasses, the bench alignment is just how you adjust the glasses. It's a certain thing that optometrists, opticians.
Perfect. So in there, you don't actually deal with the person face to face. So you're just fixing it, doing it as you're told, and sending it to the next station. Now when you come in the real world, the person in front of you. So now psychologically, they might be comfortable with something, but the new glasses are not what they're used to. So now you're there versus you being incarcerated where you're just fixing it the way you know and sending it out. Now the person in front of you, oh, I don't like it this way. Tighten this side, tighten this side. You tighten this side is loose. Then you loosen this side, oh, this side is loose. So it's a little bit different because it's one-on-one.
The people component.
Yes, making the glasses is the same from A to Z, but now you have an actual person in front of you who's telling you, oh, my head is hurting because the glasses are too tight or they're falling down. So that's one component that's missing by incarcerated.
So as you came out and you got your opportunity, like, could you walk us through that process? Like, what did you work in a lab? Did you work in an actual optical place, like yourself?
So I worked in a lab. I also worked in a couple of optical stores. Also, while you're doing that, you need to open up a business license. So you need to acquire a business license in order to open up a business. Because everybody asks you if you have a tax ID number, if you've been paying your taxes, if you have money. So you have to work to save for that. You know, I didn't have the funds to pay for it right away, so I was one of the people that had to work in order to open up a business. So I saved my money, I opened up Rogue Optical, and I just was working while doing a legal trade on the side, which was selling glasses to my friends, my colleagues, my friends, people in college that I encountered. So I was doing that on the side legally while working for somebody 9 to 5. And slowly but surely I saved, and you know, Corona came, and you know, it was bad for a lot of businesses. So I found the space at a really good price. So
Did you receive any like financial help from the banks or anything, get a loan or maybe use business credit, leveraging it? Straight you.
It was just straight me because I didn't want to fall into the trap in the beginning of opening a business and not being able to pay them back, or having to go through any issues where it's my credit. You know, I tried to keep my credit very good, so I just saved and saved and saved, just in case for a rainy day I needed to take a loan. Then I would have used that as like a backup. So that was my whole backup plan, to try to save and earn as much as I could, and if I needed to, take a loan so that the pressure is not that much for me to keep.
Ready to pay back.
Overhead.
Exactly. Because if I take a loan and I'm paying the loan back and I'm working and doing this, it's kind of like thinning myself out. So I didn't want to do that. I wanted to just focus on one thing. If I needed the help, then I would have depended on other people for financial.
You had said before that you came up in jail, you had the insight to say, you know what, I want to learn a trade, I'm going to do something when I come home. Now, I'm sure that wasn't easy. Can you walk us through like some of the distractions that you had to get past, and how were you able to stay focused in there on building a better you when you come home?
Some of the distractions that were there, like drugs. A lot of people predominantly use drugs like K2. A lot of people smoke it, you know. Smoke it around the loose. Yeah, you know, that was one of the distractions. However, when you were in the Optics program, it's a rigid program. So they make sure that you actually get to work.
For the Optics program, because you said you was on this doing electric, you said you really had the mindset of electric, but you wasn't really
working out. So just wake up, go to the yard, you know, you got homework to do, or you got to study for something, you know, whatever, I'll do it later. And you go to the yard, you work out.
That was a distraction?
Yeah, working out was sometimes a distraction because you could be doing something better with your time, but just because your friends are working out, you don't want to be like, oh, you're not going to work out today, you're missing the workout. So I didn't want to miss a workout because then they don't want you to work out with them no more. So you just you get kicked off work with teams.
So like getting like your friends, you gotta be with your friends every day, or else they look at you.
It's like hanging out. So the yard and where you go work at, that's where everybody was hanging out.
Like Friday night, you don't go. And then
so friends can be a distraction.
Yes.
Or were a distraction at times of that.
Yes.
Okay. What about the CLs? Were they trying to were they like, yo, go ahead, do a trade, or like, get out of here, you're not doing nothing?
But they deter you, or like they
encourage you?
Like encouraging it.
So some correctional facilities, you don't gotta wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
So you can sleep all day.
That's my favorite ones.
Now some, you have to wake up in the morning.
I hate
You have to make your bed or you get a ticket, you get in trouble. So for 15 days you can't go work out, or 15 days you can't cook your food that you
Use the phone.
You can't use the phone. So based off of what correctional facility you were at, you didn't have to wake up or you had to wake up. Sometimes breakfast was mandatory, like you had to go to breakfast. Some jails, they didn't care. So it depended on where you really were. Like Walker, all the SEALs were like, yo, just go do optics, just do optics.
They encouraged it.
Yeah, they encouraged it because they didn't want you being a knucklehead or fighting or doing drugs or doing anything.
Is that different from every other jail, you think, as far as encouragement in the SEALs?
I think so. They live closer to the city, so they're more like
Understanding.
They relate to us, they know us.
Yeah, now that you go,
we're just animals from the city animals.
now if you
further
go,
up.
you go further up, they have no treat you like humans. They treat you inhumane.
Well, the optics, the good thing about the optics program is that it did have it kind of segregated us in a sense. Even though the jail was kind of free movement and you could move around, they had their own floor. Like normally in facilities, like say for example, we work at the mess hall, they'll put all those people in that floor together just so it's not too much interaction, as limited interaction with other people. So everybody here gets what they get and they want to keep what they got for the most part. So, it's kind of like that's kind of a motivation in itself. You feel what I'm saying? Like everybody knew you worked optics, so they weren't being hard on you. It's kind of lenient with certain things. So.
And it was a privilege, so they didn't want to lose that privilege of being in the optics program. You study, you work hard to get in there, and now you just get in a fight over like the phone. You lose all that privilege.
How long did you have to study for that?
I studied 6 months for the exam, so I didn't work out, I didn't go do anything extra, I just studied straight 6 months. And I was in the NYU program too, so that kind of was like intensive studying and that's all it was, 6 months studying.
So you purposely took all the distractions away and made sure, you said there was a floor for all optics. I wasn't there when the floor was there, but there was I don't remember the floor. So the floor was like peer support, like y'all all be together,
when we was studying for the ABO, actually, we created one of the study groups that never existed there before, because we were really intent on, doing this and being successful at it. So it was a group of us, maybe like 10 or 12 of us. 13. That, we was drilling each other, stopped by each other's cells. So it was like, aside from just that floor being conducive with dealing with the COs, it was good because we were all had similar goals, similar aim. So it was like encouragement.
Birds of a feather.
We got together for that reason.
So those were your distractions in there. When you came to the town, I'm sure the distractions were still fierce. Was the encouragement? What were your distractions out here, and what were your new encouragements out here to keep going?
Well, good question. So family first, God first, and then family. So that was my biggest motivating factor, where I focused more on religion and my family. So that was kind of all distractions were out the window because of those two things that were my priorities. And then I learned from my past mistakes with friends and hanging out gets you caught up. So I dropped that too. So now I just focused on me and my trade.
So no. I understand you was focused, but you didn't go to any parties. You didn't
I went clubbing. My girl, living life, travel.
But to live though.
In a way where it's not harmful, but it's beneficial. So I don't go anything extraordinary where, getting drunk or partying for 3-4 days. Now it's like maybe 2 hours and I want to go home. So everything is a limit and boundaries. Before it wasn't like that.
We just get succumbed by with that.
That's it. Or you're in the environment where your friends are partying, you don't want to leave. Because if you're leaving, they're like, oh, it's wild, about, you know, whatever. They
And it just might be lit. You might just be having a good time, get lost in the sauce.
You don't want to get lost in the sauce. You know, you just wake up in Brooklyn and then fall asleep, wake up in the city. Like, that's how the night used to be, you know, so it's different now.
So that's good though that you have to focus and drive, you know, to enjoy your life and still live, but, you know, handle your business. So like, what would you encourage someone else, say if they didn't go to jail and they just like this field, or they went to jail and they weren't able to go to Wholesale and, you know, get this education that you got, what would you tell them, what would be the steps that you would have them do to, you know, try to hopefully own their own optical?
Well, there's different schools out here that actually do offer this trade. So City Tech is one of them. Hunter College is another one of them. So there are schools that you can go to actually do this trade, and it's a 2-year course. They help you learn how to make glasses, how to cut them, basically everything we learned in Wholesale. They give you financial aid, and from there you learn the trade, you pass the test, and if you want to be an eye doctor, you can further it and be an eye doctor, or you can start where I did and just be an optician and just make glasses. So there are numerous ways you can get to the same end as me.
So you said with the ABO though, like it was originally when we took it, it was a certification. What did you have to do to lock in?
Okay, so in there we had a school called Walter and Wiley. So that was a 2-year trade school. So Walker already had that school for us. So we did the trade school kind of inside already. So we didn't have to come out and do the trade school. So we were part of the trade school.
Yeah.
So that's why we got our own achievement certificate and hours. So you need 25 hours in order to sit for the ABO. So we already had accomplished that while being inside, because Walter and Raleigh is a trade school.
So we were working for Walter and Raleigh.
And it was established in
prison labor.
Yeah, in 1960 something, you know. And in days of slavery, you just worked the crime off, basically, you know. That's all it is. But out here it's different. You have to actually go find ways to pay for school, and there it's free. So you have to pay besides working for them.
So I mean, like the ABO, we had a certificate, but then when you came out, what did you have to do?
Got it. Okay, so in order for you to see people and deal with insurances, you have to take a state exam, and it's actually a practical where you just gotta go to Albany, and there's gonna be practice in front of you, and you just sit there and you do like an exam in front of them. So they take a pair of glasses, they twist it, they turn it, and they tell you, look, there's the tools, use them, fix them. What you gonna do? So you have to grab a tool, you have to say, okay, this is a nose plier. I'm gonna turn the nose plier in this way. So you actually have to speak out loud what you're going to do to the glasses before you do it.
Oh wow.
So if you don't say what you're gonna do before you do it, that's 1 point off. 5 points off, you fail the exam. And you're only allowed to take it 3 times in a year.
So they twist the glasses, put them in front of you, go.
Yeah.
Now, you got a time limit?
Yes and no. I mean, if you take more than 2-3 minutes, then yeah, they're gonna fail you. But if you know what you're doing,
Yeah, it shouldn't take longer than
maybe 5, maybe a minute the most.
Yeah.
Because they bend it behind the back, you don't see. And there's a guy sitting down. You have to put it on him, and he's gonna tell you, oh, this side is up. And you have to take it off. I'm taking this temple plier. I'm gonna put the temple down. Now it's balanced. Now you put it back on.
Seems like a TV show, like Top Chef or something.
Yeah. It's usually
That's serious work, bro. That's serious work.
Yeah, so you're actually doing this in front of
And
professionals.
then he'll say like, you failed. He'll walk away from you, discuss.
They won't tell you, they just write the point down. Because it's the student, which is also a teacher, but he's the student because he's the one you're doing all the experiment on. And then there's a guy in front of you or a lady who's examining you. She's not gonna say nothing the whole exam. She's just gonna write 1, 2, 3, or she'll just be looking at you and not even say a word. And the guy is the one that's gonna say, or the girl is gonna say, it's too tight, it's this.
So what if they be a jerk? And you like, yo fam, I can look at you. I know it's fine, there's nothing wrong with you. It's really on them, or whatever they say.
But that's real life.
You gotta fix it.
You gotta fix
Real
it.
life. in real life, you're gonna have a customer that's gonna be a little bit more particular than the next person. So if you get aggressive or angry, then you fail, and it's like you're not cut yet to deal with people.
And you knew this before you went there, that this is how it's going to be a guy, glasses and all that.
You talk to individuals and that took the test already, and they tell you, look, you gotta go with this, you gotta do this, you gotta do that.
So that brings me back to, like, originally you said that that was one of the differences from doing optics inside and coming outside. It was the people. So about how long did you get the edge and to start working with people and like get the feel for it? Like how long did it become natural the way you feel like you could do this for a long term in career?
Good question. So you actually never know people because every person is different. So you can't generalize one person to the next. So if you would do that, you're kind of making a mistake because everybody's not the same. For example, one person might wear the glasses up here and they're comfortable, and the next person might wear it down here. Now if I give the first person glasses up here, they're not gonna like it because that's not where they wear it. They wear it down here. So it depends how particular or meticulous that person is. It's a learning experience. When you talk to the people, you have to listen before you speak so you could hear what their issue is. I didn't have that in the beginning. People would say, oh, my glasses are too tight. So I'll fix the basic issue, not knowing that the whole frame was too tight. Then I learned, okay, open the frame instead of the back of the ear. So now I open the frame. So you just gotta hear what the patient has to say. If the frame is falling, maybe it's tight here and not here. So you gotta fix the nose piece. So it's different things you learn along the way. And you're learning every day.
So there's no one set.
There's no general thing where you have the same issue as you or you're gonna have it with you. Your glasses might be a little bit looser than his, and if I put it to him, he might not like it. So it's based on person to person case.
So what is it that you like about optics? Like you didn't really tell us. What is it that you like about it enough that you say, you know what, I'm gonna get my own shot?
Yep, perfect. So there was a kid about maybe 2 years old. So the patient came in, the parent came in with a prescription. The baby had...
This was somewhere else?
Yeah, when I was working for Optical location.
Okay.
So this was my 9-to-5 job where I was there and I used to help a lot of kids and adults, you know, of all ages.
Another glass place you worked at?
Yeah,
glasses store.
Yeah, another glasses store. It was in Bushwick on Flatland. So I worked many places. That was just one along the journey to this.
Okay.
So the child had diplopia, which is one eye in and one eye is just basic. So the parents like, oh, I need to fix this issue, this and this and this and that. They seen the doctor gave them a prescription. Now, I made the glasses, and now the minute I put the glasses on the baby, eyes got straightened, and the baby saw the world like it never seen the world before.
First time.
So me watching that was like heartwarming or melting because he's a 2-year-old, like versus us. If I give you a pair of glasses, like, okay, you can see, yeah, it's good, okay, have a nice day.
Yeah.
You know? You could see.
Change the baby's
But now when it's the baby, it's a little bit more like meaningful. Everything is meaningful, but it's a little bit more because a baby doesn't have vision. It can't see. Now, you're helping it see. You're helping the baby see. Put on the glasses, it saw everything. And just the face and how it started like screaming in joy.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to keep doing this. I want to keep helping everybody, you know?
That's great, that's great. That's great. Well, you know, tell everybody where they can find you at.
You can find me on Instagram, Mr.0ptix. You can find me on rogueoptical.com and DM me, message me, and I'll reach back to you.
Come on down, enjoy this great store. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for having us down at your store, bro. Really appreciate it. Your story's great. Great story. You really trying to
You know?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do the thing. Yeah, so this is our first episode of Point of View Change. I'm Ayuba. This is Derek. Peace.
Alright, you had said before that you came up in jail, you had the insight to say, you know what, I want to learn a trade, I'm going to do something when I come home. Now, I'm sure that was easy. Could you walk us through like some of the distractions that you had to get past and how you were able to stay focused again on building a better you when you come home?
Some of the distractions that were in there, like drugs. A lot of people predominantly use drugs, like K2. A lot of people smoke it, you know. Smoke it out, yeah, you know. Yeah, you know, that was one of the distractions.